All right. So you grew up in New York playing baseball. So I wanted to start with
hmm
college first. So how did you end up going to San Jacinto?
Yeah, so basically, I was trying to go to the best place possible to get me to professional baseball. So um, I kind of waited it out. So fall of senior year, I don't really have the schools that I really wanted to, go to on me. So I went down to Jupiter for the Perfect Game tournament and did pretty well down there. And San Jack saw me, says, "Hey, like this would be a good route for you, junior college route." I honestly really didn't really know much about the junior college route. Like guys in the Northeast didn't really do that. So for me, I was like, I don't really know. But so I took the chance, went down there, and then when I got there, I absolutely fell in love with it, and like they helped me so much develop into who I am today. So I'm so glad I took that chance and kind of like waited it out a little bit to go somewhere I felt like would have actually helped me. So yeah, I would make that decision like 10 times out of 10, dude. Loved it there.
That's awesome. So you spent
Mhm.
you spent 2 years there?
Yep, 2 years there, and then I committed to St. John's back here actually, but then that summer 2018 I got drafted instead, so I went to the Blue Jays instead. So.
That's sweet. And
Mhm.
y'all went to Grand Junction one of your years, right?
Both years we did. Yeah, my freshman
Wow.
year we lost in the national championship, which sucked to Chipola. And then my sophomore year, I think we lost in like the quarterfinals. It was like some part of like kind of close to the national championship, but we lost to Chipola again. So they always
Dang.
beat us up pretty good. They got a good program over there. It was a lot of fun to play them. They got a lot of pro guys like every year. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, went both years, dude. It was awesome, man. It was a great experience, dude. So.
Was there any other pro guys from the 2 years you were there?
Yeah, so I think my freshman year, like 5 or 6 guys got drafted, and then the year I got drafted, I think 7 of us got drafted, and then like 4 or 5 of us signed, and then a couple guys went to D1s, and then a couple got drafted this year, even in the 5 round draft. So like they balled out at their
Wow.
D1s, which is super cool. So, but yeah, I mean, dude, there's always just good ball players going there, dude. It's fun to watch, and since I've even been there, like the guys I get now, it's just like, it's really cool to see. Like they just keep getting good ball players down there. So.
Definitely. They're one. I
Mhm.
mean, they're always nationally ranked, usually in the top 10 or so, and
Yeah.
at least even that
Mhm.
conference too is just crazy.
Yeah, they got a lot of good teams, man. It's fun baseball, man. I learned a lot down there. It was really cool for me to go down to all the way down to Texas to play college baseball. It was definitely like a huge part of my career in my mind. So
Yeah. So did you know, your sophomore year, did you know you're possibly going to get drafted or any of that?
yeah, so like in the fall, I got a couple of questionnaires, like a sit down or two with a couple of teams. So I was like, okay, like if I put up some good numbers in the spring, I might have a chance. And then after my first like 4 or 5 outings, I did well, was throwing the ball pretty well, and then the velocity was there. It was like low mid 90s, like so it was going pretty good. And then around like April, so like mid season in the junior college season, I started just had this crazy jump and started throwing mid to upper 90s, hit like a
Dang.
97. Yeah, just out of nowhere. And I think it's just because like the season, you get a little stronger during the season. Um, it was obviously super hot in Texas. I just felt good, and I just like everything I worked on the whole offseason finally kind of came together like in the season, like so. And then after that, I mean, I had a lot more questionnaires. I talked to like pretty much like 25 to 30 of the MLB teams, like
Dang.
questionnaire, sit down. Yeah, it was crazy. Um, so yeah, but then when I was going to the draft, like the crappy thing about me was that I only had like 15 innings out of the bullpen at San Jack. For the couple reasons being, one, we had so many dudes that threw gas. It was like, all
Hmm.
right, one inning, one inning, one inning, because everybody had to be seen, either to be seen by D1s or to be seen by pro guys. Like, dude, everybody there was a dog. Like, it was insane, and I loved it. So, but the thing was, that since I wasn't a starter, I didn't have 40, 50 innings. Like, scouts were kind of skeptical about like taking me.
Yeah.
I mean, 15 innings, dude, that's nothing. Like for starters, that's like maybe 2 starts, 3 starts, and like they have like 10 to 15, 20 starts. So that was kind of hard. So then I was kind of nervous, but I thought I did, what I had to do. And then the teams that I thought were going to pick me were passing on me. And then the teams that I didn't really talk to as much were the ones talking to me on the draft day. So it was like a total,
Dang.
like, like mind twist for me. So, but, it worked out, dude. I mean, it was really cool. Like the Blue Jays picked me, and it was just awesome, dude. It was a crazy experience.
So how big during that transition, like from the beginning of sophomore year to the end, did Tread Athletics have? Because I know you're big, one of
Yeah.
their big guys.
So, yeah, actually, that started after my senior year of high school. I got plugged with him from the Pitching Ninja, actually. Before the Pitching Ninja was really, like, a big guy. I met him through some other people. That's a whole different story. But so I started working with Ben that summer, and as soon as I worked with him, I went from being like a mid-80s to like touching the 88 guy to like getting up to like low 90s, like 90, 91.
Wow.
As soon as I got to JUCO, which was perfect because, dude, if I showed up there probably throwing what I was throwing my senior year, might not make the spring team. But since I was able to show that, like, I was able to hold velocity, like, at like at least 90, 91 down south, that's good enough. So that started. So that was already like an immediate jump. And I worked with him all my freshman year and then like freshman summer, like pretty much like those whole 2 years. And like every time we would make a program, it just got crazier and crazier. And like, the stuff he would give me was like the best stuff he had to offer to anybody because he knew I could like handle it. And dude, I just followed it like a book, and it really helped me do it. And it was all remote, dude, which is a crazy thing. That's before anybody was doing remote stuff, like before COVID was even a thing. Like all remote. Like I didn't even know what remote really meant. I was just like, oh, he's just sending me a program. But like that, like, it was just crazy. Like all he did was just send me workouts, throwing, and then he would just talk to me, see how I was feeling, look at some video. But he's just a really smart guy, dude. And ever since then, everybody always asks me before they work with him, like, oh, how'd you like it? I'm like, dude, you have to do it. Like in my mind, because he's had so many success stories at this point, and he's just a good dude. Like, and now he's got his own facility, which is sick. So like he's doing well, man. It's awesome to see. So
I got his book. I want to say I got his book my junior year of high school. And I mean, I was doing a remote with Driveline at the time, but it was just like a little bit of everything, just the building the 90-mile-an-hour body. And it's just like, this dude just has like it all together. And he's just picked up huge since then. Yeah.
Yeah, he just really went outside the box, like figured it all out. It's crazy, which helped me. I'm a shorter guy. I need the outside the box kind of thing.
And so he has all of it down. I mean, the nutrition, I think that's one of his main parts. Throwing and lifting. What would you say was like the one that really like helped you?
Well, I put weight on, dude. Like, so when I graduated high school, I was like maybe 170 pounds, 165. We really hit the kitchen and the weight room hard and just kind of up the throwing with like, plyo balls and like just introducing all that. Because I'd never done it. All I did was like jigger bands and long toss, right? I did that program. So now I'm starting to add in plyo balls, like pull downs even. And then just in the kitchen, the weight room, I had to be an animal. Like, dude, I had to turn into like a guy that was always in there. So that's what I did. And then actually what was perfect when I went to San Jac, like I had a bunch of teammates that were great at that, like getting after it in the weight room. And they were big dudes, man. Like I walked in there 5'8", 170, like, dude, had to hang. So I was like athletic and like kind of strong, but like, dude, these kids were on another level. So they really pushed me. And then honestly, eventually I got to their level, which is, where I'm at now, which is awesome. I think that really helped.
That's awesome.
Like, yeah. So it's pretty crazy. So,
what would you say is your one like trick or one like cheat to gaining weight for all the people like trying to gain weight, just eating constantly? What's like your one go-to meal or snack?
Yeah. So I really like this thing called overnight oats, and it's a breakfast. So it's mad easy. You just get oats, some milk, and like, whatever you want, like kind of like bananas, whatever. You just put it all in, like whatever, like a cup. I use a mason jar because then you can just lit it up. So you put it all in there, and you put the lid on. You store it in the fridge overnight, and then in the morning it's like kind of like a cake kind of thing, and it's like great for you. And what that does is like it allows you to keep burning fat in the morning, but it's like it makes you full, and it's good energy source for you to go like work out and stuff. So that's my favorite thing. That starts my day, and I just like I've been eating it for a while. I'm just not tired of it. So and it's like it's really good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really crave like some sugary in the morning because that kind of is like sweet for me. So, but I think that helped me gain good weight and not like bad weight. But it kept me leaner and athletic, which is what you want as a pitcher, in my opinion. You need that.
Yeah.
So.
Perfect. So back to sophomore year at San Jac. Did you have an agent when you entered the draft?
Yeah, I did. So one of my buddies knew this guy that was like, looking for some pictures, like, the junior college route. And I sent him some video and he liked me. So he represented me. I'm actually with a different guy now, but the guy I was with to help me out a lot, dude. And he like, made the process a lot more, like less stressful for me. So I think it's pretty essential to try at least get like an advisor of some sort, or at least somebody who's been through the draft process to like help you out. Like for anybody who like, was getting draft interest. So whether it's an agent or whatever, it's just somebody who's been drafted before, just somebody to advise you through the process. Like you need that just from a mental standpoint. So it's crazy. But
so what all, once you got in contact with him, what all did he do for you that you know of, up to the draft?
Yeah, I mean, so like say like a scout saw me and he gives me a questionnaire. I write down that this is my advisor or who's going to be my agent when I sign. He calls him and he kind of tries to get like a little background on me, like where I'm from, because I tell my agent about myself, and it's just somebody to go to bat for you basically, just to let these scouts know like who you are as a person and stuff, and like that you really want this, you want to play professional baseball, because like that's a thing, it's a commitment to play professional baseball. So you can say it all you want, but they want to know like you go an extra mile of trying to be professional about it, have somebody working for you to help advance your career. It shows you're pretty serious about playing professional baseball. So that scout might not be like, okay, like I can really consider drafting this kid now and investing money in him. At the end of the day, they're investing in you. They want you to be a big leaguer. So no matter who you are. So I mean, everybody gets an opportunity. Some get more than others, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, they're still taking a shot on you and giving you money to come play baseball. So.
All right. So once you sign with a team, once you you report to you went to Florida, right, for the Gulf Coast League. Yeah. So then what all does the agent do, and like the hookups with the gear, the equipment?
Yeah, that stuff is sick, dude. Like when I went to spring training last year in 2019, like dude, I had like 3 pairs of cleats, like 3 pairs of turfs, like, and not even just from the Blue Jays got me, like my agent sent me like a couple polo shirts, like with the agents, like, or the agency logo on it, and like, yeah, like got a New Rollins, like Pro Preferred, like it was so sick, dude. Like showing up to spring training with all that stuff in like your locker and your name on it was so sick. Because like you think about that, like when you see the big leaguers do it when you're a kid. So I was like, this is sick. It was like just right under that, man. It was awesome. Sick.
So now you're drafted by the Blue Jays. You probably had like about a month until the Florida season started. What is that? Like the transition from the college practice and college seasons, and then into pro ball. What's that transition like?
From like a college point, from like to a pro point, what's the difference?
Yeah, that, and just like even like the you're practicing between games at college, and then now that month before games start. What's that difference?
Yeah, I mean, like, so like practice in college, like, so it's more like drill based, like, so you do PFPs and stuff like that, like bunt defense, where in pro ball, like you'll do more like game related stuff, like you'll do like pick plays, like picks a second, stuff like that, and like more complicated stuff, and then like signs, even like from just catchers to pitchers, like how they're gonna be working with signs on a guy on second, like more stuff like that, and then more like mound work and like bullpens and flat grounds. Like they care more about that stuff. Where in college, I feel like that stuff gets overlooked, and they kind of just want you to buy into a program and like we believe in bunt defense, like that's our big thing. Like we're not gonna let guys bunt on us, right? We're like, so the pitcher's taking so much time to just be good at fielding bunts. Why aren't they working on trying to throw harder and have nastier stuff and working on their pitches?
Yeah.
Where in pro ball, that's all it's about. Like, yeah, you'll do PFPs because there's so much time because you're a professional. You don't got to go class and stuff. But in pro ball, dude, like it's PFPs, but we're working bullpens. You got cameras everywhere, Rap Soto. Like, that's what matters. We got to pitch, and like we should be expected to do that as professionals. Where at college, like, might be that overlooks picture of being a successful program. But
definitely.
That's what this is. But both, when I was with San Jack, I feel like we were pretty good with that though, because our pitching coach pitched in the show for 15 years, Woody Williams. So like he had a very good feel for like what we had to do to be prepared to win ball games. And then when I went to the Blue Jays, same thing. Like they're pretty advanced with like analytics and stuff, and had people working for them that were really good with that stuff. So I learned a lot just from being around guys like that and just talking about it, because it's like it really started being a really big thing like in 2018 when I was first getting drafted, like from like a player development standpoint. And it's been crazy how even in the last like year or two, it's gone like it's crazy how much like goes into it.
Were they big into plyo balls and driveline?
So at first, no. Like the first year I show up, I'm throwing plyos and nobody else is. I'm like, oh man, like, this might not be good. Then the next year, a bunch of guys were doing it, and then they hired a couple guys from Driveline, and then now this past year, like, yeah, like they're full on, like they promote it. So I was just like, it's crazy. That's what I'm saying, like how much like it's grown since that year. Because dude, that was not a long time ago. And I remember in like 2016 when I first started doing tread, like my senior year of high school, how crazy like bad it was looked like, oh, don't throw away your ball.
Yeah, definitely.
It was super controversial back then. And now, even when I like, it feels like I got drafted like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, but I got drafted like going on 3 years ago now. It's crazy. But yeah, the baseball is evolving like every second, it feels like now, like with all this stuff, because there's so much like information out there now. But it's super cool though, like, you know, I think it's awesome, but, you know, people can't get lost in everything. I did think just taking the, you know, bits and pieces of everything, like the best things that you think that help you, that's what you got to do. That's what I try to do. So
yeah, it's definitely crazy how, you know, like you said, like a few years ago, Driveline was one of those, oh, don't do this. Like you might throw harder, but you'll get hurt a month in. And then now it's almost like standard for colleges, for, you know, pro ball. Like it's almost, if you're not doing it, like what's going on? Like, why don't you do it?
Yeah, and like you better do something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing to throw harder? Everybody's trying to throw harder now because like now the expectation is like risen so much. Like 90 is not even cool anymore. You got to 95. Like, you know, it's just like, so if you hit 90, it's like, all right, you might be able to go to like a D1 now. Where like if you do 90 like 3-4 years ago, like you're going to like a Power 5 school and being like the Friday guy. You know, it's just like. I mean, like, obviously it's probably going to peak eventually because, like, you know, us as humans can't throw harder than, like, you know, our arm will fall off. But, like, you know, it's going to be crazy, like, how hard most people are going to be throwing, like, in the next 5 years. Like, everybody's going to be expected to throw at least 95, at least being a bullpen guy. Like, I guess a starter can get away with throwing 92, 94, but that's obviously still, like, good. Like, it's just crazy. But, you know, hitters are very elite now, too. It's just, like, I've seen some hitters that, like, it's just like insane, like you know, a guy like Vladdy Jr. and guys like that. It's just like they can hit anything, and it's just like they're just born with it, and like they work at it every day, and it's just like I can never like think about being good at that. Like, I'm so glad that I'm good at the pitching because the hitting, which it's like there's just no way I could do that. It's very impressive in my mind. I give hitters a lot of credit, sometimes too much, but it's pretty crazy. Like some of these guys I've seen, like it's like everywhere I've gone from like, you know, high school to college and then a pro level, like at those levels who I saw hit, crazy, man. So,
and it's
definitely got
it's crazy for me to see, like, you know, I've been a PO pretty much since I started playing, but like seeing guys hit like your changeup, just that's crazy. Like the movement you have on even most of your pitches,
or like a fastball, dude. Like, dude, it's like I can never try and hit my fastball, and then guys turn around on it because like they know it's right there or whatever. I leave it up. It's crazy, dude. So I mean, God bless those hitters, dude. I can never.
If you could guess, just a wild guess, what do you think the like top velocity in the majors will be in the next 5 years?
I can't see anybody going past 105, dude. There's just no way. I think guys will get up to that, but yeah, I think it'd be more impressive if guys can hold like 101, 102, and not even go to 100. Like that would be more impressive in my book than like hitting a 104.8, but it's like, you know, in the other batter's box. You know what I'm saying? If a guy can paint 101, like DeGrom's damn near close, you know?
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere. So I could see a guy like him doing it if, like, this all keeps evolving and people keep getting that much better. But, yeah, that's what I see it maxing at 105. I really don't think anybody's arm can humanly possible throw a baseball harder than that. So I'm pretty sure it's science. I don't know for sure, but that's just my best guess.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
that'd be crazy, though.
Like you said, just being able to physically hold it, like that's – I think the main point is like we're getting close to this peak.
That's a bigger, in my opinion, like that's more of an impressive feat. Like if you can go out there like every fifth day and you can hold like above 100 for 5+, 6+ innings, like dude, like that's insane. Like that, you know what that's compared to somebody who can pull down 105 one time in like, you know, the summer. Like it's such a big difference.
Yeah.
Like, so and that's a lost art too now, especially with the quarantine. Like, everybody is posting that, oh, I throw hard on like pocket radars and stuff. It's like, dude, like, and this is something I'm at fault too. Like, I want to throw hard and like hold it, and also like pitch with that. That's nasty, you know. And that's what guys are expected to do. After Bueller, DeGrom, anybody like that, like a Blake Snell, Glasson, like all those guys throw so hard, but like they're still pitching.
They keep it.
Like it's still an art. You know what I'm saying? Like you can just tell like that's just in them. And that's at the point where I'm at now, where I'm like figuring out with where I'm training at now and everything. It's just like, it's really cool to see because it all makes a lot of sense, like from a pitching standpoint. But like if guys, you know, the younger guys, like high school and like, you know, younger guys realize that if you just like do stuff correctly and just put some like the smart work in and then work hard at that, you'll be such a better ball player than just trying to do like the eye wash stuff and like things that like people are just saying is good just to take money and stuff, you know? So all the right information is out there. So that's what I'm trying to do too, is like, whenever people ask me questions, I try and put out like what I do. Cause like, this is what I believe is the best stuff. So, I mean, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but I mean, in my opinion, like, dude, if I'm this small of a guy and able to have trained to throw hard, I feel like a lot of stuff I've done has worked in a sense. So I feel like I have some valuable information to tell people.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then even some kids I work with now, or like even people I've helped as like some of my teammates, like I feel like I've helped them in either velocity or just like something in some way. So, and like that's the best part. Like, I feel like that's cool. Like from my standpoint, like, you know, it was kind of a grind for me to get where I'm at. Like, you know, have to like, you know, really, you know, fail a lot and go through a lot of things, like figure this out. But like at the end of the day, it makes me a better teammate and like, you know, just a better guy, like baseball guy. Cause now I know things that, you know, might help other people. So it's been super cool to kind of start to go that route ever since kind of quarantine started and stuff. Cause I haven't had really anything else to do but work on myself and then help others, you know? So it's been super cool.
And I wanted to talk about a little bit about your new, you know, program you're starting, but just before that, I wanted to go back a little bit into, I guess, this past offseason. It's crazy saying that, but when, you know, you blew up with Pitching Ninja, really, like got really crazy. Talk a little bit about that.
That was super wild. So I've always known him, like we just talked about, when I was, you know, working with Ben Brewster back in like 2016. I met him in Jupiter through the hitting coach of my travel team. Like they knew each other through Twitter, like just whatever. He was nobody. He was just some dad. His kid was playing. His kid plays at Georgia Tech now. So then when I became a free agent, I was like, okay, like, you know, let me wait a little bit, you know, kind of see if any team just picked me up, like without doing anything. And once it got hit like around the new year, I was like, okay, I'm going to put something out. I feel like, you know, if I put a really good highlight video together, I think, you know, it'll get some good interest. And plus, I think Rob will help me. So I put it out there, tagged him, retweeted it, and then like the third pitch was like that changeup that I post that like moves with a foot. And so everybody was looking at that, and then like, you know, obviously I was throwing like, you know, hard in it too and everything. So I think that helped to go viral. Obviously Rob like put in a good word. So like, that was pretty cool. And then after that, everybody was asking about my changeup grip. He thought it was a great idea to make a whole like segment about it. He goes, yo, like, just Dropbox me a video of like your grip and explaining it, and I'll post it. And it'll be like, yo, if people are asking for your grip, people should like somebody should try to sign you. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he did a lot for me from that standpoint. And then like, yeah, obviously, you know, a lot of people started following like my journey and stuff, which is super cool because like that's what I've always wanted. Is kind of started inspiring other people. And I remember like trying to be inspired by people, but I was always like, man, I really don't like. I think this is really my thing. Like, I gotta be the one to do this, you know? So like, so I mean that's been like fuel to the fire all those years, but like now I'm starting to really see it. So I think it's kind of helping me really push like through all the like, you know, what's going on in the world right now and stuff, and still kind of focus on, you know, what's ahead, you know, for me baseball wise. So,
and I mean, as a fan myself of baseball and as a, you know, another college player, like once you know, put that video out on Twitter and Pitching Ninja retweeted it and like that started to pick up, I want to say like that just started a huge trend of, you know, other free agents, other college guys. Like, I want to say like you're one of the founders of that trend.
Yeah, you know, flat ground was a thing before, but it was mostly for like high school kids. And I feel like when I did that, a lot of guys were like, oh, I can do it for pro ball. And then, you know what I'm saying? And like, or they're like, oh, I just got to show nasty stuff on Twitter. And then like, you know, there was like two other guys that did it before. It was like this guy, Chris Nunn, who like was a lefty throwing 100. And like, you know, I think there's another guy too throwing like 100. But before that, it was nobody. And then I hopped on there and then that blew up. And then, yeah, especially this year, dude, everybody hopped on it, which is awesome, dude, because like some people go unnoticed, man. And Rob does a great job of helping people out. It's really cool because like now you cannot go unnoticed nowadays. You really can't. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't go where you think you're gonna go, like you probably weren't good enough, like at the end of the day, or you didn't really showcase yourself the best you could. You know what I'm saying? But
I think that's one huge gap is just like marketing yourself and getting yourself out there. And that's, you see guys that could go so much, further than, what they're at or what they think. It's just how you marketed it.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. I mean, nowadays, man, I feel like the truth's out there, man. If you're a good ball player, like the game will reward you. You just gotta work. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot to learn, and it's a fun process. Honestly, I wish I enjoyed it a little more, but right now I've kind of been able to really enjoy it and kind of look back and everything, and then kind of be excited about what I'm doing every day now, and then really excited about what's going to be in the future. So that's what I would give advice to a lot of people, is just really enjoy where you're at. Even if it's kind of like not where you want to be, one day, it's going to be a good story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So you gotta do sometimes.
From that off season to now, or I guess till this summer, you played Indy ball in New York, right?
Yeah. So it wasn't even really Indy ball. So what happened was all Indy ball leagues, everything got canceled. Only people that played were the MLB, right? So what they were able to do was they were like, all right, we can play a recreational league, quote unquote. So 3 Indy ball teams in the Frontier League, the Boulders, the Jackals, and the Miners, made 2 teams each. And it was like, it was either the Boulders was one, and then I was on the Braves. So those were the 2 teams. And each team made 2 different teams. So it was a 6-team league. We played 30 games. So we played Thursday through Saturday, 1 game each. And then we would practice on Tuesday. It was basically playing college ball, but professionally, but super laid back in a summer ball fashion. It was super weird.
Wow.
But man, it was one of the best experience I had playing baseball, man. And especially with everything going just to play. And we played in front of fans. Dude, it was awesome. I met a bunch of great guys. I threw well, and I figured out a lot about myself. What I think I really needed to do to go into this offseason, because dude, I really consider the last year an offseason, man, because we really haven't been able to play like that. We played. It was a little different, man. It wasn't really a regular year. Dude, April and May, we were just sitting at home. I've never done that in my life. It was weird. I was it's April 15th, and I'm not on a baseball field right now. That's that just feels like a date that I'd be playing a baseball game. You know what I'm saying? It just sounds so regular. And I was just sitting in home, so I mean, just to be able to get out there again was just awesome. And then I think the way, not throwing as much as I did this year really helped my off-season program this year, because now I can kind of throw a little more this off-season and really work on what I got to work on, which is 100% what I need, just actual throwing reps.
I think you said it really well, that that summer team helped you really see what you need to work on for this off season. And so, I mean, especially now you're picking up real big on, active on Instagram, showing out your off season training. So you're with, is it Velocity University? Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's Velo University. It's out of Athletes Warehouse, which is a gym in New York, about 30 minutes north of the city. And then they're about 30 minutes south of me, where I'm at in New York. So, dude, it's such a sick place, sick weight room, 3 cages up the stairs. And then you go out to this big turf area, which we're going to do live ABs and bullpens in. It's sick. And the owner, Nick, he played college ball. And he's just a really smart guy, and he basically went out and learned everything you can about pitching from everybody, and took the best things that we just talked about and put it into his own words and his own thing. And I think it's super badass, dude. Yeah, I think in my opinion, it's really impressive what he's been able to do, because pretty much everybody knows how he's trying to teach it with simplicity is very impressive. So for a guy like me, being athletic, he can help me do a little more harder stuff. At a professional level, because I need that. But for a high school kid that might throw 70, right? For example, he might be able to get up 10 miles per hour just because his stuff is so simple. Somebody that might be all over the place can just be oh, I can no, I know what he's saying. He's very good at explaining it, and his drills are just they're literally called rewire drills, all of his plyo drills, because they literally rewire your mind and your body to throw the correct way and the best way to throw hard and healthy. And it's just I think it's super cool, and it's been super beneficial for me quickly, because, I've been able to, pick it up quickly. But I think it helps everybody, because his big thing is if you're very athletic, you're going to adapt quick. because it's really what you need to do. Like, it's a scientifically proven way to throw baseballs, how to move on the mound, all that. And he does it with, you know, medicine ball for lower body and then plow balls for upper body. So it's super cool. And just like the whole process of how he goes about it makes so much sense. So it's
That's
awesome
awesome.
to see him like start to grow. And I'm just trying to help him get out there because, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna be biased because I train there, but dude, like I really believe in, like, you know, how he's going about it, you know.
Yeah.
So, really
And I've
like
checked
it.
out their Instagram and seen a lot, and it's like, I mean, you know, so like I said, I know a lot of driveline stuff, but, you know, seeing a little bit of different approaches or even just more, you know, in the gym content that driveline doesn't post as much, and just seeing that is like, wow. Like, so I think the other day it was either him or you put something for your, I think it was you, your triceps with the,
Yep.
what is it? The,
TRX.
yeah, TRX system triceps. I think they put something for like one of your like your cuff, like your shoulder. And I mean, it's just stuff like, wow, I've
Yeah.
not thought of that.
Yeah, dude. They really go outside the box, and like that's what it is nowadays, man. Because everybody's trying to have an edge. Everybody's trying to have the best product because everybody is very good now. Like you got Treadflex, you got Driveline, you got Cressy. Now you have this Velo U. Like you have stuff all over the country. I'm missing a bunch. I can name it for days. Like places that I would love to go train and throw at just to learn. And like it's just multiplying every day. And it's really, that's what's really cool to see too. Is like you can really get so much better now, which is good for the game. It's going to be really cool. So I like where the direction of that's going.
What do you see, you know, obviously you just keep training, but what do you see your main couple things you're focusing on this off season until, you know, spring training where a team comes along and picks you up?
Yeah. So basically holding velocity, but like, you know, at a good rate of like, you know, commanding it. And, you know, also being able to like pitch with it, man. Like, you know, like being able to know like 2-0, like I can challenge this guy on my fastball and locate it right here. Cause, you know, if it's a 2-0 count, I got to locate a fastball low and away, or maybe this guy can't hit an inside fastball. So I got to get it. I got to hit that though. And I got to have the confidence in that, where sometimes I feel like I don't. I feel like when I work ahead, I'm like, you know, I got all the confidence in the world. But as soon as I go like 1-0, 2-0, almost like, you know, I don't have like that zip, but I also don't have like, you know, that confidence to get it where I got to throw it for a 2-0 count or anything like that in that scenario. So basically, like, just, you know, no matter what circumstance I'm under, just, you know, confidence with each pitch, because I think that like alone is going to help me. And also moving the correct way on the mound. I had to clean up a lot of things with my mechanics, like, you know, front side stuff, and like, you know, how early or how late my hips were moving, you know, how my lead leg block was working. Like, I was moving like very athletically and powerfully, but just not on time at all. Like, not at all. And it made so much sense because I didn't feel on time. I just had no idea like what to actually physically do. And what's so funny is that everything he's telling me to do, I've learned over the years, but in like different segments, like the drift that I posted the other day. I've known that with Ben for like 3 years. Like I was like one of the first people like started working on that. But I forgot to do it because I thought it was making me throw balls because I'd be like too far forward. But I was actually losing on my front side. Like I wasn't tight enough on my front side. You know, I was like going across and then pulling instead of going straight out and then getting tight with it. And then if I did that and drifted, it would have been fine. It doesn't matter. If you do everything on time and efficiently, you can throw so hard. Well, the hardest that you can with your athletic and, you know, strength abilities, but also like repeat it. And that's what I need. I think, you know, to repeat it, because I'm athletic enough to be able to throw a ball hard for however many innings I have to. But I just need consistency. And I always knew it'd be like kind of physical things because I'm good with that stuff. And then that makes my mental like a lot less stressed out, because I'm like, all right, well, I just need to pull this a little tighter because I missed arm side. You know what I'm saying? Or if I missed arm side before, I'd be like, what is going on? Like, what's happening? I don't know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I was like, I had the catcher set up a foot outside, and I swear I reached there, and it ended up arm side. But now I know, you know, and so the physical cues have helped me a lot. But it's been a lot of mental stuff too, man. Just enjoying, you know, the process of trying to really learn this stuff. Like I just went all in on it. I was like, no stress. I was like, you know, if I don't do something right at first, I'm just not going to stress about it and just learn it, because I know I'm going to be able to get it eventually. And trusting that process, I think, has helped me do it quicker, because I just haven't really put that much stress into these new variations of drills and everything that I'm just not aware of. You know, I just went into it, you know, with like, you know, a really good attitude, and it's helped me a lot. So
definitely. So is So to go into your, your new performance company that or like your program, is that, is Velo U where you're doing it, or tell us just a little bit about that.
Yeah. So basically everything I learned at Velo U, and then like just stuff I've learned over the years, I take and train kids from my area in New York. Cause honestly, like it's pretty deprived around here baseball training wise now. And there's some pretty good kids. And, I like to be plugged in with the area, and, it's a good way for me to, stay busy, when I'm not training and stuff. And I like working with the kids, man. It's a lot of fun. I mean, they're good ball players. So basically I started doing that when quarantine started. And then once kind of like, I ended with the season in Rockland, I was like, all right, like, let me go a little harder into this, like make it a little more professional, just so I can as the winter goes in, I can be a little more organized, like going inside, whatever. So once I did that and started posting some, cool content, started getting a lot of people around here, obviously, but even everywhere else, like started think it was cool. So then I was like, word, so I'm just going to keep doing this. And then every day, I've just been trying to make it better. So ironically, my velocity program starts this week. It's just, we meet twice a week at a facility in Poughkeepsie where I live at. And just for an hour, I'm going to be teaching them stuff I learned at Velo U and other stuff I've learned for the whole month. And then in January, we'll probably really ramp up and get them pulling down and on the mound, stuff like that. But basically this whole month is basically drills and maybe
awesome.
Working on stuff like that, like mobility. Yeah, it's super cool. Like super cool stuff. It's going to help them a lot that nobody around here would ever do. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
And I really enjoy it. So, I mean, it's a lot of fun, man. It's cool for me. And it keeps me sharp because I'm teaching them what I preach. So it always keeps me remembering what makes me who I am. So that's really what helps me. Like if there's anything selfish about the whole thing, that'd be it. It makes me a better baseball player helping these kids. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
awesome.
It's a win-win in my book. So I have a lot of fun doing it. And most of my kids, it's hard for some of them to do some of the stuff I'm asking because, like, I ask for a lot. Like, I'm making them do drills that we would do, and they're, like, 14, 15. But, I've seen some kids make really big jumps, and it's been really cool to see. And I don't even care about the credit. Just seeing them, like, enjoy the game like that and, like, know, like, if they work, they can just get that much better is really cool to see. So because that's what I went through.
Yeah, and that's awesome because it's not just like, here's someone teaching me how to throw harder. It's a dude that has, plenty of history, plenty of different, like you said, you got Ben Brewster at Tread, you got the Blue Jays, even San Jacinto, Velo U, all this stuff that you're combining what works for you. But also, for the younger guys, it's like, this is a pro guy from like the city or the area I'm from. So, I mean, that's even more of a reason for them to listen in.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's really cool, like, working with the little kids, like, the middle schoolers and the guys in the little field because, like, it's just so pure at that level, man. They're just playing with all their buddies, I would kill to do that again. But, it was really cool to see, like, when I put in some stuff, like, they'd never even seen before, like, some drills and, like, some even mental aspects about how to go up to the plate or how to pitch. They couldn't even believe it. And it made them such better ball players. And, like, like that makes me feel good because it makes me know that I can really teach this game for a long time. So I know I can always have a place in this game, which is cool to know.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And so I'll make sure to put the details to your Instagram for just yourself and that.
I appreciate that.
Too. So one last question to end it off: who would you say is your favorite pitcher of all time?
Pedro Martinez, dude. He's sick. I thought he was so badass, dude. Like, I didn't really get to watch him too much when he was on the Red Sox because I was, like, super young. But when he came over to the Mets and stuff, I was like, man, this guy's awesome. And then I would watch his highlights when he was on the Red Sox. Dude, like, what he would do to these hitters, man. And back then, like, bro, he was doing 96, 97. That was hard. Like, nobody did that, Like, think about Eric Gagne was, like, the top closer saving every game. He was throwing 96, 97. Like, that was, like, unheard of. Pedro was going to start when he was, like, a small guy. Yeah, he was a little freakish with, like, his fingers, and obviously he's very athletic and mobile.
Yeah.
Dude, like, he's not a big guy at all, and, like, he had 3+ pitches, and he knew how to compete, man. I strive to be like him pretty much. Like, I think he was sick. I mean, I respect a lot of pitchers. I like all pitchers, like, all different types of guys. And that's what also makes me train the kids cool is because, like, I can, like, work with different guys and, like, just picture guys I played with. I'm like, yo, I can kind of help you, like, do something just because, like, they remind me of somebody I play with because, like, you eventually play with so many different guys that it just kind of cycles again when you start meeting different kids. Like there's something that they do that reminds you, and that's what's super funny too. Like, you know, it brings back, you know, some good memories and stuff. But yeah, man, I mean, it's crazy like how all that stuff works. Like, just like
definitely.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap that up for the podcast.
Okay, cool.
I just want to thank you again for coming on.
Yeah, dude. No, dude, that was awesome, dude. I appreciate it, man. A lot of fun.
Of course.
Appreciate letting me talk.
So let's see.